The advancements in our world with every passing day are quite staggering. None of us would have imagined that science and technology would bring us such an incredible level of advancements that they have. Surprisingly enough, we are only just done scratching the surface, and a lot of it is yet to come. If we talk about the future 40 years from now, what do you imagine the world will be like? Well, lucky for you, you don't need to imagine it. Today, we'll show you some incredible technological advancements that will take place by the year 2060. Sit back because this is going to be an exciting list. Before we proceed, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any new videos from us. Technological singularity. The first thing on our list, which we might already have gotten used to in the year 2060, is the technological singularity. This is a defined point in time where the growth of technology will become uncontrollable to the point that we will see irreversible changes in human civilization. I.J. Good's intelligence explosion model, the most widely accepted interpretation of the singularity theory, predicts that an upgradable intelligent agent will eventually enter a runaway reaction of self-improvement cycles, with each new and more intelligent generation appearing more and more quickly, leading to an explosion in intelligence and a potent superintelligence that qualitatively far exceeds all human intelligence. We definitely wouldn't rule out the chances of the technological singularity occurring with technology rapidly progressing. If anything, this phenomenon might end up occurring earlier than the year 2060. Self-assembling buildings from nanotech. Nanotechnology's scope in the world is massive right now, and it's only expected to grow in the coming time. And its growth is expected to hit such a high that by the year 2060 it will be possible to develop entire homes and offices using nanotechnology alone. It will require a scaffold system that initially resembles a huge four-poster bed, self-assembling machinery. A platform rises from the earth and is supported by vertical columns, one in each of the site's four corners, by successive layers of material. Until the construction is completed, the columns rise in unison with the platform while also carrying material. These machines will lay down the foundation of entire buildings piece by piece. It will include the structural framework, flooring, electrics, doors, and other components. The interior will be well designed, and adjustments will be made where necessary. Even skyscrapers and other towering buildings could be built using this technique by 2070. Groundwork to completion is completed in a matter of days because of how quickly the process moves. Rarely, if ever, are people required on site. Space hotels become accessible to the general public. The first space hotel is expected to launch in the year 2027, and that's quite early compared to the year 2060. However, by the year 2060, these hotels will become accessible to the general public as advancements in technology drive down the cost substantially. Star Trek actor William Shatner became the oldest person in space owing to a trip with Blue Origin last year, while billionaire Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic launched into suborbital space. But the major drawback that is a part of this entire prospect is the price point. Since obviously not all of us can afford a trip to space with today's technology, waiting for the arrival of the space hotels of the future might be the best bet. Of course, a lot of amenities can be expected, just like that of a standard hotel. The public space would be put together to form a complicated structure that resembled a truncated octahedron. It would have a vast room with a lobby, restaurant, entertainment area, and other areas where people might partake in low-gravity meals, sports, and many amusements. Smart clothing becomes a trillion-dollar industry. Out of everything you wished would turn smart, you probably expected your clothes to be the last. By the year 2060, we'll see our clothing become immensely innovative as well. Thanks to their embedded sensors and miniature electronic circuitry, these intelligent clothes will be an attractive alternative to traditional passive clothing and enable smooth communication with phones, computers, automobiles, and other gadgets. Wearers of smart clothing will be more productive, check on their health, and even seek assistance if they have an accident. Since clothes must be occasionally washed and water damages electronics, producing such clothing is technically quite difficult, which is why you do not yet own any smart clothing. Purdue University engineers created an innovative spray and sewing technique to turn any regular fabric item into a battery-free wearable that can be washed in a washing machine. Permanent human base on Mars. NASA stated its goal to bring humans to Mars in the 2030s, and we're still a decade away from that. One of the essential concepts that will be applied in the Mars expedition will be the concept of a permanent human base, which includes logistics modules, an astrobiology lab, a science module, and a habitat module. Rovers would attach directly to the modules so astronauts could transfer directly to the vehicles without needing to head outside. NASA would concentrate its exploration efforts within roughly 100 kilometers of the landing and habitation location. This region, usually referred to as the exploration zone, has regions that potentially support people and have a significant scientific impact. 4K volumetric displays. Early 21st century televisions had been getting thinner and narrower, but a new device class has turned this trend around. Volumetric displays have been used for years in aerospace, defense, medical imaging, and others. Still, they had far lower pixel counts and were much more expensive. But the mid-2060s, they'll be a commonplace consumer good and a feature in houses worldwide. This kind of television uses voxels and 3D objects when turned on. With a required data rate of upwards of 13 terabytes per second, these small, light particles refresh hundreds of times per second, which is around 1,000 times faster than conventional 2D transmissions in 4K. In addition to movie theaters, museums, galleries, and other public places, larger volumetric projections are also available. These currently provide spectacular experiences and a fantastic sense of immersion. These volumetric displays will eventually end up becoming the platform for hologram technology. Longevity treatments halt aging. If you thought there was no chance for humans to stop aging, then think again. Longevity treatments to halt aging will be widespread by the year 2060, and they'll be carried out at a low cost. Instead of being a unified process, aging researchers identified several distinct types of places where changes to cellular structure could be made to steady the process of aging. There are treatments for fewer cells being produced, and too many cells being produced uncontrollably, the latter known commonly as the condition of cancer. By the middle of the 2060s, cost reductions, patent expirations, and other scientific advancements will enable the majority of the world's population to benefit. The ethics and consequences of putting an end to aging have been hotly contested, as they have been with earlier scientific revolutions. However, this idea should be vastly explored due to the rise in public support and the general increase in quality of life. Nanofabrication. If you're wondering what nanofabricators might be, think of 3D printers, but better and faster. These mini factories have been around in several military, corporate, and medical environments for a while. However, the prevalence and success of nanofabrication in these sectors will ultimately allow the common man to get his hands on them as well. In terms of appearance, nanofabricators resemble a large box, like a microwave oven to be specific. The raw materials of this apparatus are purchased separately and can be loaded into it in a solid, liquid, or powder state. The interior compartment of this machine is where the magic takes place, constructing the desired object atom by atom. It could be a transplanted part of the human body or an entire architectural layout. Antimatter Spacecrafts. With fuel being undoubtedly one of the most valuable assets that takes spacecrafts into outer space, the fuel used in the 2060s won't be the one we utilize today. Deuterium and tritium, heavy hydrogen isotopes with 1 and 2 neutrons, respectively, in their nuclei, are used as the fuel for those vessels. Hydrogen typically has no neutrons. This fuel is a pellet with uranium surrounding it. An anti-proton laser hits the pellets with an electrical charge of -1. With just 1.16 grams of antiprotons, a voyage to Jupiter can be made utilizing this propulsion technology in under 4 months. The future is unpredictable, but with how technology progresses, it can't be denied that all the things mentioned on our list is likely to become a reality. How soon? Well, that's something only time will tell. 2060 is our expectation. But if quicker breakthroughs are made, we can get there much earlier.